Hey there folks, and welcome to the next Grand Tour of 755 mile per hour Cup Tryouts. In this tryouts I'm doing the Honda Nsx Gr.4. So here's the parts and lists that you can do to the Honda Nsx Gr.4, which is not much technically. As the saying goes, it's a race car, so yeah, you technically can't really do much on the engine department. But you can add a bigger turbo to it if you really want to and stuff. So this would be allowed for the turbo competition in the future in that case. So that's very nice. Shockingly, I thought the Nsx was a N14, but no, it's a V6. I keep forgetting about that. Because I thought it was like a similar case with the Civic, it's just like slightly bigger motor, but no. It's a big old V6. But yeah, it's the new Honda Nsx, so you would think, oh, it has the hybrid technology, right? No. That is either hybrid technology is kind of banned from tournaments, or it's just not worth it at the end of the day, so instead you have a regular gas Nsx motor. Now, there is no Y-by option because it's a race car, for God's sakes. However, there is an engine swap, though, and it is the LS7 Rampage. So, I guess if you want that, there you go. But otherwise, yeah. Anyways, what else can you technically do to this in terms of the cosmetics? Which I will just say this, not much, but you could change the rims, though. Which for rims, you got choices. Not a whole lot. But if you want to switch to the other rims, you technically can. You can also increase the sizes too. You just cannot widen the width or the offset L. Anything else? I guess technically not much else. I will say I did forget to mention that you could change the headlights to yellow too, as you can see what's in this one right now. Now here's the setup so far, which you can do body height. I did the body height adjustment. I changed the natural frequency. So the car is much tighter and stuff, so not to be loose on some spots, because it was kind of loose on some spots. I will note, still kind of loose at the end of that. But that's because I think I have the turning a bit more than it should. For the front sport, because the front sport, if I recall, if you look at it here, yeah, the back sport is just medium, but the front is like all the way on in. I'm gonna be honest, probably really shouldn't have technically done that, but I wanted to get the exact amount out of it at the end of the day, so you know, just run with it, just run with it. Yeah, here's the gears too, in case you want to wind the gears just right. This thing goes at 249. I don't think I messed with the final gear, so I think it's fine there. For turbochargers, just the normal one, because you can't put the beefier one, because that's too much apparently. Even at the 92 to 70 of the FCC output there. And the power restrictor output as well. Then again, that power restrictor is always mostly used at 70. Then again. Yeah, that's basically about it, what I basically did to the Nsx Gr.4. It wasn't a whole lot I could really think of. I thought about lower the negative camber a bit more, because I will say the front does burn a bit more, but yeah. Anyways, here's the livery for you, if anyone who wants this livery. I don't know, I tried with this one. I was getting very experimental with this one. I'm not sure if it's really that good to look at the end of the day. But the Honda Nsx Gr.4 is a race car. Kind of like really it to really say, because the problem about this one compared to other ones, I looked around for any cup data if it did any cups. I don't think there really is any, or if anything the AI was trying to tell me, it was basis from other ones and stuff. So, I guess in terms, I guess the best I can mention, it did some endurance cup races, and that's really it. But that might be referring more to the Grade 3 than the Grade 4. Otherwise, the Grade 4 may not exist at all at the end of it. But to say though, if there's one thing I do really like about this Grade 4 version of the car though, is that it's basically the Nsx motor without the hybrid technology. So if you always hated that hybrid technology, this is your way of driving the Nsx without that. So, and it's a different beast a little bit, just a tad here and there in some of the sections and stuff that it performs. Yeah, hitting like a minute 10 already, so not bad at all. as we go on the roundabouts and stuff. But yeah, this is a very fine, magnificent little car beast at the end of the day. Very fast. I might add. The end of the day. But yeah, in terms of history for this car, I don't think it has really any history. I think this might be one of the fictional cars, so. Which, to tell when it's a fictional car, it's most of the case where you just see the car name and you just see the tag name. That's really it. There's usually sometimes a year attached, and if you see the year attached, that means it's real. Or if it's named differently, then it could be real too. But otherwise, the Honda NSX may not exist at all. But if it does, okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm just kind of shocked though, because reminder that the Honda NSX is a high-end car. It's a very expensive car at the end of the day. So to see it as a grade 4, I'm not sure that would be the case, because a reminder, grade 4 consists of cup cars and stuff. And cup cars are usually range between 40 to 60 grand, usually. But then again, there's also a Nissan GTR grade 4, there's the Supra grade 4, although that one kind of makes sense because the Supra is around that range of 50 grand. The NSX, however, is like 80 to 120,000 if I recall. So, to say, it's just kind of weird. But then again, reminder, we also got the Bugatti Veyron grade 4, which you... Oh no, you won't be seeing that because... I will say you won't be seeing that because that has all-wheel drive. Because I will say there is no all-wheel drive grade 4s. Because I'm just going to say advance, those are a lot more broken than the regular grade 4 cars. Which I'm just surprised they even outright allow all-wheel drive to be compatible with these cars at the end. Because considering, if I recall in the meta, most of the case it was the Lancer Evolution that people end up using because of its all-wheel drive efficiency. You're not good and stuff. But yeah, overall, the Nsx Gr.4 is not a bad machine. As we get to the last roundabout here for this, we're hitting a minute 10.379. Yeah, it's not particularly that fast. But we did 109.886 at some point, so let's see if we can do faster than that. Apparently, 109.59. So apparently I can do even faster than that. Holy crap! Let's see how much faster I got after that, shall we? Yeah, overall the Honda NSX is a very fun machine. I would say technically quicker than the Viper overall, I would say. In terms, if there was any rivals, it would technically be the Cappuccino, I would think. Although the Cappuccino might have been a lot slower. I think it was like a whole second slower, if I recall. Let's look at the time, shall we? So far. Yeah, hitting like 109.596. Get my dang phone out for this. Everything goes. Alright, so let's see. So 109.596, that does not beat the Viper grade 4. It's actually quite tied to at the end of the day. Because, yeah, like I said, it's very comparable to the Viper at the end of the day. So, but let's see on this time, see if it breaks that threshold. At a 109.412, it does. So in terms of competitiveness, in this case, it's closer to the Honda M1 2+4 motor. Holy crap, in that case. So off to Laguna Seca, I think this is where the car kind of just shines a bit more than it should. But we will be seeing the best lap later, though, because this is the case where I had the best lap immediately at lap 2, I'll just say. So instead, you're just going to see last of the 2 laps here and such. Here's the stats, what I believe in overall when it comes to the Nsx Gr.4, which, yeah, speed 2/5. It's kind of not that great when it comes to the speed side of things, and then also the acceleration is kind of just mid-level. It's not really that crazy. It's like, it's there for the most part. I think what suburbly hits this car the most is turning, though. Its turning is very phenomenal for the most part. If anything else to mention, it's the burn rates too, which is, in terms of the tires, it's front mid, lasting like a 4th when it came to Iger Norman's 8 laps, 9x12 burn factors. Which I say by that, I mean 9 fuel burn, 12 tire burn, so to say. So if you do a custom race and you put 9 fuel and 12 different tires, you get that result. The other thing is the tire burn. The tire burn is pretty, or not tire burn, but fuel burn is pretty good for the most part. It hits about like 2/5, so give them about 40% left of the fuel at the end of the day. I say that's just about right when it comes to like most cars reaching that point. So overall, I just kind of disbelieve. Oh yeah, another issues too is the steering. The steering can get a little overseer snappy, so to say, or happy. I don't know what was the best way to apply it at the end of that. But just say, just be careful how you just turn right or left sometimes. Sometimes it might bob a bit more than it should. It doesn't feel very stable, in other words, sometimes. That's the case. But yeah, overall though, this car kind of hits a rank low ace in my case when it comes to the whole factors of either endurance or such. But for sprint though, I think it's kind of the worst. It hits kind of a B. While the endurance side though, I would say an A because how long lasting this kind of car is at the end of the day. Well, giving off a good pace, so to say, considering 132.490 here, which is really good. That's a really good time, I'm not going to lie. There when it comes to that. Cause yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like it does technically have speed, but it's like very middling. It exists. It's just not the craziest so far. Like sometimes I kind of wonder if I should say the SRS should be 3/5, but or 4/5 on that matter. But it's just really hard to say at the end of the day. And this is what I kind of like when it comes to cars, where it showcases a different motor performance, so to say. It's very interesting. So, but yeah, I just love it at the end where the AI takes control of it, just runs right into the wall side there. Just wanted to show that too. But yeah, so now onto the actual best lap. But yeah, this happened right around the second lap because I guess I apparently meditated so good, I just got the efficiency just to get what I need out of this at the end of the day. That's funny stuff. Funny stuff overall. But yeah. When it comes to this car. So as we get on through the straightaway and on downwards here, we just got a good time right there. Matter of fact, like 1.5 when it comes to the splits there. But yeah, it hits like 132.4 if I recall, which yeah, that's put in second place between the Nsx Gr.4. Yeah, I swear that Nsx Gr.4 is gonna be the bane of my existence when it came to the first car to put in tryouts, because it turns out that was the quickest one thus far. Kind of crazy for the, I gotta say, on that factors then. It's very funny overall. Yeah, as we get down to the down hairpins here, if that's exactly what's called, or it's just the swings. I'm not really sure. I need to understand my turning biology. Or whatever it's called. We go around the last of the stretch here and go on down. And we get that exact time, which is 132.490, which, yeah, like I said, put in second place, so that's pretty good. Now onto Tokyo Expressway, south clockwise, I believe it's called. So yeah, in terms of look-wise, when it comes to this car, I gotta say, I am not an Nsx type of person. Well, when I say Nsx type of person, I mean I like the OG, but this one, something's not right when it came to this one. It's like, maybe it's because it needs that kind of spoiler that the other one had for the most part. That, and whenever I keep looking at this car, it just keeps making me think the Audi RA at the end of the day. Which I kind of feel bad because, like, this car is technically good, but it's not, like, crazy good at the end of it. So it's just really kind of weird. It's like, but then again, I will say the OG Nsx has its faults too, considering well, for a car that's supposed to have supercar handling and such, it has a kind of a lackluster motor to tie with at the end of the day. Because yeah, if you want to look at a technically successor to the Nsx in terms of performance reasons, it'll be the McLaren F1. Because the McLaren F1 is technically based off the Nsx in some ways. So the guy wanted to had a wanted a Honda motor, but Honda didn't have any motor to provide for him, so instead he went turn around and slap a BMW motor in it at the end of it. So yeah, it's just kind of crazy so far when it comes to thinking about this car at the end of it. And then this one technically appeared out of nowhere, technically, but it was to showcase a hybrid kind of performance as a supercar, even though this is not that. But I will say though, in terms of what I like about this race car compared to, well, besides being able to engine swap, because as you've seen, there was a Rampage motor you could toss into this, which I don't know that's a good motor at all, to be honest. But as a car without the hybrid, I kind of love this more than the hybrid version. At the end of the day, it's really weird to say it, but it just kind of shows. Even though the hybrid technology is phenomenal with the Honda NSX, it does not run dry at all. Or if it does, it's going to take a while because I guess fuel might fuel at the end of the day, and it's very, in that case, it's a very good system. Because most hybrid systems, like example the Honda Fit, another hybrid car that Honda has, that will run out, and once that runs out, it's not really good in performance-wise afterwards. It's just made for longevity reasons at that point, and that's not really a great point at the end of the day. It's an okay point, but it's not the craziest. So, and then the reason why you don't see the hybrid technology on this Gr.4, as again, I will apply, it's because due to regulations and stuff when it comes to Gr.4, because they do want to keep it at budget at the end of the day. So they opt not to have the hybrid system, which is, again, it's like brings you back to the glory days of when NSX was just MR. Because yeah, Nsx is a similar case of Lamborghini where they decide to go all-wheel drive technically, and the Nsx is technically all-wheel drive when it has that hybrid system. But when it don't, it becomes a phenomenal little MR racer at the end of the day, considering hitting like a minute 49.093 there, which is not bad, but it's not crazy. But here we go, hitting minute 48 though, 48.163 to be exact. Which is hitting past the Viper at least, so that's a good sign at least for the most part. So let's see if it can hit even better than that. So as we get down to the lanes of longevity. Yeah, because I think I decided to change the camera a bit more to give it more of a flare when it came to this, because this is a longer track at the end of the day, and I did that intentionally for a reason, because yeah, you gotta showcase the speed side for God's sakes when it comes to this and stuff. But yeah, just in terms of theme or style, I basically based it off of the Nsx Gr.4, just add a bit more flair and add some stuff from the previous OG NSXs, like that weird red or white line that's used on the back of the car. So I just did this like Formula Oil style stripe on the back. I don't know if it looks good. I probably should have thin it a bit more, because I noticed it looks a bit too fat for a one at the end. Yeah, I just basically kind of looked at the Gr.4, like, you know, I could probably make something a bit better a tad, or not as great. Who knows? Because then I also like the color I also did with. It's like a bluish gray metal color, if you want to know. With the black hood, and just add some little bit of gold to the side. And when I say gold, it's like a whitish yellow gold. That's it. But here we go, hitting the last straight, and what is the time for this send off? 147.989. Not bad. Not as crazy as the Scirocco, but I'll take it. Because yeah, like I said, that Scirocco's gonna be crazy at the end of it. But yeah, if there's one event it can do the Race of Turbo Sports Cars. That's kind of like really it. It's debatable if it can do some of these 600 foot touring car events. I tried it on the Nürburgring, which I'm trying to find it, by the way. I tried it on Nürburgring Nordschleife. That went okay, as I thought. So it's like if it's any complex turning courses, that might be fine overall, but otherwise, just be careful. I will show the 600 tournament as always, but just be warned that RX-7 is going to kick you in the bun hole. So now on to the race, which we are at the Kyoto Driving Park. We're on the, I think it's the Yamajiwa, if I recall. So we are on that section of the layout of the track. Cause yeah, when it comes to layouts on this, it's a bit of a bizarre. Because you have the Miyabi, and you have the Yamajiwa, or Yamajiwa. What's that? So yeah, we are racing against my sports cars once again, because yeah, that's all I could just technically do with the Grade 4 cars at the end of the day until I figure out a new batch of cars, but that's kind of going to be a while in that case. I mean, I already kind of cooking one, but I don't know if I should even put that against those, because what I'm thinking is this historic race cars and Trans Ams I'm putting together and try that one day, but we'll see here. If it's a crazy performance car, I might do it, but otherwise I don't think it's that great for the most part what it's at. But yeah, overall got these got my beloved Civic there, my Twisted 4 Pizza Boy Civic. Got the Mercedes 190E Evolution. Because yeah, it's not just basic sports cars. It's like DTMs, you name it. The classic good old sports cars you come to know of. Oh yeah, the Giulia Sprint, which yeah, that's not a normal Giulia Sprint. That's Giulia Sprint with the Honda K20 motor from the RCR Civic. Yeah, the garage RCR Civic. And then you got the Super BRZ, because yeah, you gotta have one of the classic sports cars, which would be that. This thing goes. And then you have the other super classics, that is the AE86 Sprinter Truno. That's a legend upon legends, so you know, by work, well, not the greatest, but you know. Yeah, so as you can see, during these straightaways, they're definitely going to blitz through me, because as a reminder, these sports cars hit 300 miles per hour. I only hit 155. But yeah, you would think, okay, so that means I'm probably going to get instantly defeated, right? Like, there's no way I'm coming from back from that at the end of it. Yes, if it was a person, but no, if it was an AI. Because the AIs don't really drive these cars at their full potential very much. Or if they do, it's when you're in the front. That's the only time they'll start kicking into high gear. Because they rely solely on you on the pace given at the end of it. If you're getting closer, they get more pace. I'll just say that. Yeah, apparently I made the best lap time, by the way. I should not have made the best lap at all. This thing goes. Yeah, we got like the crazy stoppy car that is the Fiat 500, because for some reason the AI has a habit of hitting those brakes so hard that the whole car just lifts up on the rear, on the front wheels. I'm starting to see what people mean on that car a little bit. Just a little bit. I think the other one's the Peugeot 206, I believe. Or is that? No, oh no, that's 205. Okay, I gotta remember that's 205. There's a 206, I recall. But yeah, it's abundance of sports cars I'm going against, which I'll eventually be getting up there ahead eventually. We got some cars here, like example, the Renault 5 Turbo. Which yeah, if many people don't know, this is, if you want to know why I have all this Dragon Ball kind of stuff on it, that's because Bulma drives that in the first episode of Dragon Ball, I believe. Either first or later ones there. Or the first manga too. I guess Save the Trip. So cause yeah, in Dragon Ball there's a couple cars that are based off of real life cars, and the Renault 5 is one of them. And there might be other ones that are based off of other cars. Like example, when Goku's getting his driver's license. Cause yeah, there was a non-canon not ending, but non-canon episode. A filler, I would say, of Goku getting his driver's license with Piccolo, and they were driving hover car versions of either it's either Testarossa or to Shelby Cobra for that. So just funny stuff. Just funny stuff overall when it comes to that. It's like, oh my god. You get the Honda Civic, but yeah, it's still debatable if I want this one being the 155 pedestrians or not. Because I will say I have an interesting course going on there. Because yeah, I will say I did switch some cars around when it comes to the 155. When next time we see the pedestrians. But yeah, something happened here. I have no idea what was with this 190E, but he decided to careen right off, as you see there. Let's see, what happened here exactly? Did he just not hit the brakes? I guess the brakes just said F you, okay. Interesting. Yeah, but just watch him hit the wall there, just by 190E, this thing goes. Yeah, we got the Julia Sprint, but yeah, like I said, the regular Julia Sprint can't really reach sports car speed, so the other option was to slap a K24 or a K20. It's a K motor at the end of the Civic's RCR. Cause yeah, you can turn around and do that, and it's phenomenal with that car's case because it is an FR, and I'll just say this: anytime you get a Civic motor, stick in an FR. It's so much better. It's like unbelievably better. Like I know people. I know the car's core thing is that it's supposed to be an FF. I'm sorry. I think the Civic should be an FR at this freaking rate. Any more power it gets. Like they're trying to make FS better, but I'm gonna be honest. Like even the new ones, yeah, that's not good enough in my case. Like I get it that it would be nice to see a high performance FF, but it just ain't happening, Captain. At this rate. But yeah, we also got some cars that already decided to pit already. Got the Corvette C1 here. Got the Focus ST that also burned a lot apparently. The Mazda 3's already went in as well. Funny stuff. So far. We got two other customers here, and then going back to the top here, we got the Ford Sierra RS 500, being the fastest it could be. This thing goes. Let's see how long that longevity lasts, though. This thing goes. We also have the Jaguar E-Type Coupe, because yeah, I will say, I kind of debated on that car because while it didn't say GT performance, that car definitely does GT performance. I will say when it comes to Jaguar E-Type. But because of the fact it doesn't say GT, or it's not known as a Grand Tour car at all, it's just a sports car apparently, I am just going to keep it as a sports car. I will note, you will be probably end up seeing that one day on the GT side of things. But for now, where it sits, I think it's just better off just being, you know, a sports car. Just like the Corvette C1. As a reminder, the Corvette C1 was like the one that basically made sports cars famous at the end of it. Even though for a sports car of Corvette of that era, debatable. Especially when the motor is as bad as muscle car as English. And it's kind of stuck like that till, I want to say, the C4 and C5, to be honest. Because that's when it actually finally changed on the matter of fuel, suckage, and performance at the end of the day when it comes to Corvette. And then not only that, it's also even debatable to even call those sports cars too, because they technically became more of a supercar. It's just kind of funny twist when it comes to that. Okay, got the Peugeot 205, just driving on by. Got the Renault 5 Turbo. Yeah, as cute as it be. But yeah, hopefully in the future we get the Renault 5 regular car, the regular FF one. Because yeah, while it is nice to have the turbo one, I kind of hope they talk about the regular R5. Because the R5 Turbo is a special homologation Group B rally car at the end of the day. While the regular R5 is a regular hatchback, that's kind of similar to that to the 205 GTI there. I say loosely on the GTI part. But yeah, it is a thing. So I kind of think they should just still show it, just for not only history reasons, but to show like performance stats, how much it mattered to make the R5 Turbo. Even though I will say that R5 Turbo is like, I think at max performance. I don't think it's really pushing for on that car at the end of it. Which I believe similar case with the Miata, since that hits like 220 horsepower. It's up. Yeah, got the Toyota Truno giving chase to me just throughout this whole time. If you guys didn't notice that throughout, but yeah, the Truno was giving chase throughout this whole race. So, but yeah, as the saying goes, if you haven't heard from my last episode, I did mention that I decided to cut the race of showing time to like 20 minutes, but the race is still like 30 minutes overall. So, in case you want to know, that's what it is. What's up? But yeah, we basically got a bunch of the fuel efficient cars. There's the Sprinter Truno and the Mazda Roadster coming at me at the end of the day. Got the C1 Corvette trying to get back up here, but I kind of say good luck at this point, because look at the fuel already. It's already burned down to like a fourth. It actually shocks me that it burns that much. It really does when it comes to that one. Got the Ford Sierra trying to get back up here as well. That might have a chance. This thing goes. Jaguar E-Type Coupe as well. Which I'm not surprised. Jaguar E-Type Coupe is very good on the fuel consumption, even though it has a 1960. But reminder, it's a very light body car. It's extremely light, but I do love all the gauges and stuff that car has at the end of the day. Pretty cool. Pretty cool on that matter. We have the classic Focus ST, which I'm surprised how much the fuel burns in this car too for an EcoBoost, no less. It still burns a lot. It burns as bad as the C1 Corvette, so that kind of gives you a clue as it goes. And then you got the phenomenal car that is the Civic Q, which while not up there just yet, it will eventually. It is a phenomenal little tuner car at the end of that. And you got the M3 Sport Evolution, which, yeah, not a bad DTM car overall. Which kind of just makes me wonder, does that mean technically 90s Japanese cars are just overall better than DTMs on that? When it comes to fuel, not performance, mind you. Performance, I think DTMs might still have the cake on that. It's just a matter of if fuel burn is ever in a factor, that could be a detriment. Let's say. As we see here. And then the Giulia with the K20, not bad thus far, as many times I showed it. And such. Yeah, overall not bad performance. Yeah, got the DS3 just driving about. See how it goes. And the 190E being as fast as possible, but the problem is the fuel just burns like no tomorrow as well. And like a 140. Oh, he's the one who made the time right there. Matter of fact, he's the 146. Apparently, so he is currently being the fastest right now. Good luck though. My longevity will outlong you as the thing goes. Got the Super BRZ just being the Super BRZ, because there's really not much to say when it comes to that car. But yeah, I think the problem when it comes to BRZ, it's very lackluster on just not just the looks, but the speed itself on delivering. It's kind of like a Miata, but unlike the Miata where Miata can have fun, that car strangely just doesn't have the full fun awareness. It's weird. It's very weird to say that at the end of the day. And I think it's because of the kind of like with the body air ducts on the bottom might hold the car more back than it should. That's the only guess I have. Other than say the boxer motor is kind of just lackluster, which is kind of weird because it's a boxer motor. You kind of expect a lot of acceleration, but I guess not. That's how it goes. And then of course the AI just driving crap SFGO. Yeah, that's the only excuse I have why he's just back there at the end of the day. Because he is definitely hitting. He is definitely hitting sports speed. I'll tell you that. It's just for an AI though. I like the worst AI. So whoever ever votes on that FTO, do not vote on the FTO when it comes to ever doing the sports race to this. Because for some reason the guy just sucks ass at driving that FTO for some reason. Don't know why. When it's a FF. There, got the E-Type Coupe, got the Sylvia, the Sierra's now in the front, while I'm trying to get back up there at the end of the day, because since I had to refuel and get the tires and stuff. But yeah, you would think it'd be like a 30-minute race. It technically wasn't at the end of the day, which is odd. But the burn factors were really there, though, when it came to this one overall. So it took till like the 7th or... yeah, I would say the 7th lap, basically. I had to go in. So yeah, we are on to basically the split here where I showed basically the end point at this point. Because yeah, might as well. Okay, overall just sitting at 4. Let's see how much of a change once you hit the split here. I just will say throughout the competition though, they did stuck around with me at most compared to the previous time I had them. So yeah, here's lap 14, which at this point I basically just got it in the bag. I do have one opponent still give a chase at this point, which is the Sylvia Q S13, and then the Jaguar E-Type that's going to battle. Got the AE86 as well. I can't say a whole lot since he has a bit of a gap to even get to me at the end of it. And the Renault 5, or Renault 5, I should say. Pardon the French. Got the Miata Roadster. This being the Miata Roadster, as I guess. Got the Ford Sierra RS. It's being just, well, I would say trying to get up there, but as I see its tires here, that's not really that good for tires right now. Very bad, actually. You get the Mazda Uno's Roadster, the DS3, which is always a weird car to me, because yeah, Citroen made that car, just it's just underneath their luxury brand, I guess, in other words. It's always been a really weird car, because Top Gear showed that car. It's always been just a super strange car to me, at the end of the day. But then again, that DS car is also famous, because reminder, famous rally car driver by either Sebastian Loeb, I believe. He basically drove either that one more particularly. That's it. If I recall, or no, I might be wrong. I don't know. So I thought it was like a C3 or C4 he drove or something like that. Then again, so I could be wrong on that, but who knows? I'm trying to recount my history. And hopefully that's right, instead of a Mandela effect of terrible, pointless things to mention, as I guess. Yeah, got the FTO at 15, baby, he's getting there. I have no idea why he's that slow, he's just weird. You're making me look bad, buddy. You know I like the car. Yep, so now I just tried the victory at us, right? Everything goes. Cause yeah, like I said, they may be quicker, but longevity's case is the biggest bite to deal with. Which in this case, they were close, not close enough. You know, I will say if I had the AI thing on, Sophie AI, they probably would have gotten me. I will know. But then again, I still gotta say Sophie AI kind of cheats, so you know, I might as well just go with the base AI that's called good. And then not only that, I don't think the Sophie AI drives the FTO here, sending out a new car. I will say, if there's any new cars, the Sophie AI won't drive those at all. then again, the selfie AI thing has always been like a disappointing experience to me, so, you know. I didn't just got Gran Turismo PlayStation 5 version just for that somewhat. No! Well, I will say somewhat. It's like technically I did for performance reasons, and its PlayStation 5 version. Yeah, it looks a bit nicer, but not really because of the selfie AI. The selfie AI was just a bonus, and it's kind of a crapshoot bonus, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. But yeah, in terms of victories here, we have the WQ in second, E-Type in third, Spectre in fourth. You know, it's probably 5 there, but yeah, that basically wraps that for this tryouts overall. So in that case, I'll see you guys all next time. You guys take care, and I hope you enjoy what you've seen here. Enjoy this little teaser. The next competitor that is the Honda S660. So until then, folks, I'll see you guys all next time. You guys take care and ciao. Thanks for watching.